Ahoy, Morty Breathers. Welcome to Monday. We've started in complete silence this morning.
Silence. Yeah, we're just kind of low key this morning.
Yeah, just showed up to work or showed up to do the show. It's not really work. It's just kind of fun.
Peter's working. I can't say much about me or you,
but sometimes I feel like we should just let him go.
You just let him do his
your
thing over there.
And we just didn't have anything to talk about.
You're right. We're just looking at our phones. We're death scrolling, just going through, seeing what's going on.
Well, I was watching an MMA fight that took place over the weekend.
All right, how'd that go?
Well, the guy got knocked out. Usually seems to be what happens
as what happens.
Yeah, so it was a big one. I didn't see it live, and I had a little time, so I thought I'd just
there you go
watch it, and I did.
Yes.
So happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, SPP.
Happy Monday.
We got SPP in the house. We can't be here without him.
Ahoy, Skipper.
Ahoy to you, my lad, and Boss Man Matt.
Ahoy, Skipper.
Ahoy, Boss Man. Big weekend? Anybody have a big weekend?
Peter and I were at softball on Saturday.
You guys got to do a little
We had two games. We had a 9 a.m. game and a 12:30-ish game. It started right about that time, I think. So had a couple games. Actually, Highland beat Washington in the first game.
Did they really?
Yeah, that was I don't know if you want to call it an upset, but I don't think that was predicted by most people.
Probably not.
And then Washington came back in the second game and beat West Burlington Notre Dame 13-0 in 4 innings.
It was kind of like
it was a
tournament,
tournament, but it wasn't a bracketed tournament. You basically had a set schedule.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's more like a jamboree.
Yeah. Yeah, so we knew what time the games were. They were going to be at 9 and 12:30, and we knew who the opponents were going to be, and so it was in whatever. But a weird play happened I'd never seen before. So Albia and Assumption played right after the second Washington game, and Albia and Assumption are both ranked in the top 5, I think, or at least top 10,
something like that.
In different classes.
No, I think both in 3A. I think.
I didn't think Albia was that.
I didn't either, but I think they are.
Okay.
It might be wrong. If not, Albia would be a class lower. But anyway, Assumption's record is like a 500 record, but they play in Davenport. They play a lot of big schools, right? And they're a private Catholic school. So anyway, but Assumption was ranked higher. Right, exactly. Assumption was ranked higher. Albia is really good, so we kind of thought this could be a heck of a game. So anyway, we got done with our game, packed up, and I went back and watched. And it's tied 3-3, and it's a timed thing. So we kind of they didn't play the full 7 innings, but we kind of knew this was going to be the last inning. Yeah. Anyway, long story, but so it's tied 3-3, and what was probably going to be they ended up playing 5. This is in the 4th inning, right? Bases loaded, 2 outs. Assumption is up. Popped up to third base. The third baseman, it was a high pop fly. Third baseman was under it. Looked like she had it, no problem.
Infield fly?
It dropped right behind her. Hit the ground right next to the base.
Okay.
Fair ball. And then the ball rolled into the dugout. And because it was 2 outs, all the base runners, and the bases were loaded, all the base runners were running immediately as soon as it was hit. Mm-hmm. So because it rolled into the dugout, everybody got one more base from where they were when it rolled into the dugout.
It's a ground rule double, isn't it?
No, she got a triple and 3 runs scored because that ball hit right next to third base and rolled into, and I don't know how that all worked, but the girl that hit it ended up on third base and 3 runs scored. So 6-3 Assumption, and that's how it ended.
Wow.
Yeah. Never seen that before. And it was, look, she might have had the sun in her eyes or whatever. I felt bad for the Albia girl. It just dropped right behind her. And it was a fairly routine pop-up. I don't know, but 3 runs scored on that. So I'd never seen anything like it.
Ground rule triple.
Apparently. Something.
Did it just trickle in?
Maybe. There's lots of things happening. And so I guess I don't know. And from where I was sitting, I couldn't actually see when it went into the dugout. But
that girl had to get to second.
She would have had to be. She would have had to already be past second, or maybe getting to second, so she could get one more base. Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, 6-3, and Assumption won on what was essentially a routine pop fly.
Yeah, that's too bad. For that.
It is too bad. I felt really bad for her because Albia. I mean, it was 3-3, but Albia looked good. Couple home run, well, at least one home run. That went. It was a monster home run. But Washington had a couple home runs too. Colby Griner got one, and somebody else, and I can't remember now. So sorry.
remember
I
that.
apologize.
Look at you coming up softball.
I know. Well, it was exciting.
Yeah, it's softball is fun to watch. It's a fast game.
Yeah. Yes. So anyway, I know most people probably don't care about Assumption and Albia, but if it's
Yeah, oddly enough, here we are talking about
here we are.
two places that are not in necessarily our reach.
Right. But it was I just never seen it.
Yeah, I don't know that I've seen that either. That's interesting. We had some baseball over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Some infield fly stuff was going on. So I don't know if they do that. I think they do that in softball.
I don't know. There's been a couple infield pops. I don't know if they do, but I don't know for sure. But regardless, this one hit the ground and then spun into the dugout.
Weird things can happen. From
Yes.
time to time, that's for sure.
So there you go. There's your high school not area related softball update.
It's a great story. Thanks for sharing. I will also share that the Southeast Iowa Video Network, we are sponsored by KCTC.
Thank you, Casey.
It's Casey and all the gang over at KCTC. And the three of us this morning, the Morning Breath crew, we are powered by Hy-Vee and Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh.
Thank you, Willie.
Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh.
Jimmy's in this morning. Ahoy, mates. My mom, ahoy. Jeff, ahoy. Denise, ahoy. So we got some people watching this morning.
Ahoy to you all.
Up and about on a Monday morning.
I still learn of people that listen quietly.
Yep.
Without
And
commenting, and that's fine.
and they can do that, but we jump in. The water's fine.
Say hey.
Let's just say hey.
Boy. Big week of golf for me is over.
You done?
Well, yeah, and I considered yesterday part of last week.
Right.
It was a long week.
Yeah, you golfed several days. Mm-hmm. And it's been hot.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
And it's hot all week.
Thursday.
Jeez.
I took Friday, Saturday off and golfed again yesterday. But that extra golf is paying off. I'm playing a little better right
that's
now,
good.
so maybe I should keep this rolling a bit.
There you go. I'd wait. It's pretty dang hot.
It was hot. Yesterday was not bad.
It wasn't bad, but I was out a little bit, and it's the humidity. It'll get you.
There was enough breeze yesterday that it
It wasn't too bad.
wasn't that bad yesterday, so I did not suffer.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's good.
Had enough. I told myself no more. 90, I'm out.
Yeah,
It didn't get to 90 yesterday, I don't think.
I don't remember if I said that, but back when I was playing, I didn't have a high temperature rule, but I was not. These guys go out when it's 58 degrees, and it's like, that's just too cold.
I'm feeling like that'd feel really good.
Well, maybe, but you get 58 degrees and the wind blowing, and you're out there. It's chilly.
I say this now. I'll be out there, but probably not.
Yeah,
That's kind of a fair weather golf.
I was pretty much over 60, but I didn't have a cap on the high end.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't suppose I'd want to wear a cap. Probably not. Let's see. What else? We had a big parade over the weekend.
Oh yeah, the Shriners.
Yeah, we had a good group turn out for that, for the Riverside Trek Fest, and some baseball games I got to go to, but it was hot.
Yeah,
So that was my Saturday. So got up and watched the game, hot at 8:00 in the morning, but not bad. That was okay. I sat through that parade. It got hot.
what time was that? Like
It was
11,
at 10.
10? Well, yeah.
So and it seems to start a little late. So maybe 10:30 before we get. But it was fun. It's fun to interact with the crowd and stuff.
Right.
And we had a good turnout. The Shriners showed up well. And then more baseball after that. We had a baseball game at, I think, 1 o'clock. Really hot.
hot. Yeah.
In fact, it was hot enough. And I sat out in it until, and it was one of those games where the poor opposing team had a pitcher struggling to get it over the plate. So, and when he did, we were hitting.
Right. So it took a minute to get through that.
It was the first inning was 45 minutes, and we were up
geez.
19-0.
Oh no.
Yeah, and we quit stealing, we
Right,
quit doing
right.
all that stuff, and it was just You just can't do anything about it. Anyway, that game took forever, and it got towards the end, and I thought, there's a parking space right here by the fields. I'm going to go get my truck and sit in my air-conditioned truck and watch the game, which I did.
Did a ball hit your truck?
No,
All right.
no. And I wouldn't even have cared.
You were in
Break my window. I do not care. So I watched the last half inning in my truck.
There you go. Well, the softball press box. We for baseball we can't be in the press box. In softball we can, and there is a little air conditioner in there.
Is it enough?
It's not enough because we keep the windows open because we got cameras and microphones and this, but it helps.
Yeah.
It helps. And then when I went back to watch, I just went back to the press box. I had no business being up there for that game, but I was just like, nope, I'm sitting up there.
You've got a press pass.
Yeah, I got it. And nobody questioned me. I just went back up and just sat up there.
Was there anybody else? You had to tear everything down?
Yeah.
Was it because there was other people coming in to broadcast?
We were just done.
Oh, I thought in between games.
No, we left it up in between games.
Okay.
It was after we were done.
I see.
Yeah, after the second game. We tore up, brought it back here, and set it back up here so we could have a show this morning.
That's good thinking.
I don't know.
It's good thinking. So we're almost to July.
Tomorrow.
That's about as close as
You
you get.
don't get much closer without getting there.
Let's see. I don't know what I was going to say about that, but almost to July means the year's half over.
We're halfway home. Good, bad, or otherwise.
We're going to have a no-show on Friday.
No show on Friday. No work Friday. We're gonna take a day off.
You're going to take the whole day off?
Well, we'll see how it goes. That's the plan.
What?
That's the plan.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That must mean I can have the day off, too.
You can have the day off too. I give you permission.
Thank you.
Yeah, not only for here, but you don't have to go to your real job.
I'll see what Patty says about that.
You don't think I'd outweigh Patty's?
Well, I don't know. You're boss man.
So Jeff says he's always wondered about Trekfest. Trekfest does in fact celebrate the future birth of Captain Kirk. And I don't remember what year it is, but like 22,
21, 30?
21, 22, something like that.
Got any research on that SPP?
I got
Yeah.
you.
So yes, it is, but it's they've
So-
leaned into it.
40 years ago, somebody said,
Somebody on the city council.
why can't we do this? And they researched it and caught a boom, caught a bang.
Well, they sent a letter to the director, the writer,
Gene Roddenberry,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah, and asked if they could be the birthplace of Captain Kirk,
And nobody else has.
and he said sure.
Why not?
Yep. So it is, and the funny part about that is that they had a plaque, stone, something, kind of a little monument for the future birthplace of Captain Kirk. It was behind a building in Riverside. Have you seen it?
I don't think I have.
So there was a little sidewalk that went behind a building. You kind of had to look for it. It was not right out there. But I think they moved it. I think somebody bought this little place and they had to move it. So wherever Captain Kirk was born originally, they moved his birthplace.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know where to, honestly.
Well, I don't know either.
But anyway, yeah, it's old. It's an old thing.
There's a lot of people dressed up as Star Trekkies.
Yep. Yep. They lean into it. And people come from all over.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there was some, I didn't see them, but there was some stars there, former stars
Right.
of Star Trek.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a big deal. It's especially a big deal for Riverside, but it's a big deal for a lot of people.
It really does exist.
They have a Star Trek museum, which I have been in.
I've not even been in that.
Yeah.
What have you found for us, SPP?
Google says 2233.
2233.
A couple hundred years.
I'm not going to wait around.
I'm not either.
Somebody
that'll
in
be-
Riverside is going to have to plan well.
That will be post SPP even.
That'd be very far post SPP.
Post SPP.
have to be some planning.
Yeah.
Riverside must stay intact until
Until 2233.
that's all I know. It's got to remain there. Boy, there's a lot of celebrations between now and then, isn't there?
There is a couple hundred.
But we're much closer. We're 40 years closer. I think this was their 40th year.
It could be, yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
That's unbelievable. It's 40
That's some
years
pretty
ago.
forward thinking. I give that. Who I can't remember. I know the name.
don't
I can't remember who it is either. But that's some pretty forward thinking to get that accomplished.
And it's done well,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yes.
729 SPP. I think we're at a point where we can take a little breaky poo.
I agree.
All right, we'll be right back, folks.
Introducing Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every meal is a delight. Start your day with our mouthwatering breakfast options and savor flavorful lunches with friends and family. Cap off your day with our delectable dinners. Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every moment is delicious.
At WCHC, our goal is to take great care of our patients and our staff.
We are able to approach you, take care of your issues, but also give you a path, as far as referrals or treating you right then and there.
Our role in the community is taking care of something that matters to everyone. It's their family and their health.
More than you expect for your health care.
At Seafirst Credit Union, we're all about making connections, like how we connect you to that dream vacation with a savings account designed to help get you on the flight there. Connect with Seafirst today and see why together is better.
Ahoy, morning brothers. I was just
Catching up.
we just get caught up
I know.
all the time. I'm not even paying much attention, but I just got a snap from my son, and they're out catching coons.
Oh, there you go.
My daughter and my granddaughter and my son.
All right. Ray says Steve Miller was the person that came up with the idea for Trek Fest.
How come I can't get out of this?
Tim, watch out. It's National Meteor Watch Day.
Good Lord, you scared me, SPP. I didn't know what was happening. What was it?
National Meteor Watch Day.
There you go. Yeah, there's a tie into that. We'll get to that in this day in history.
Okay. All right. Before we get too much further into anything, I wanted to know, did SPP, you're a big soccer fan, yes?
No.
Okay. I was expecting you to say, yeah, kind of, not huge, but yeah, you do like soccer.
Jack is.
Yes.
I know Jack is. Jack's on.
If you're talking about the U.S. Costa Rica game, then I saw the end.
I'm not talking about that.
You're not talking about that.
Talking about the completely robotic soccer match that happened over in China. 3-on-3, all robots. Anybody read about that? Did you see that? I watched some of that.
Did you?
Yeah, it didn't even make the Ocho, but
And so on the Ocho, because I pop in on the Ocho from time to time. Yesterday was kickball.
they had something. And I wish to God I could remember what it was. I wanted to remember it, and I couldn't. It was so bad.
They have it is hilarious. But so literally kickball. I mean, I played when I was a kid, and these guys are, I don't know, one team I can't remember. Won 5-0, 5-1.
That's it.
That's it. So anyway,
Defensive battle.
yeah. And after that, which I did not watch, was professional table tennis, which I have seen that before, and those guys go after it
I don't even know how they don't break the balls.
or their balls, whatever.
Their balls. They hit so hard. I don't know how what holds those balls together. So there was this 3-on-3 game, and it was a contest over in China. 2 colleges, universities of some kind
Built these robots.
built these robots fully functional. I'm not saying it was fast, but I did watch some of it.
Do they? I mean, are they run around on 2 legs or okay?
And they got arms and a head, and legs, feet, and they kick. And they play defense. It was kind of cool, but not real fast.
I would say that's a pretty technological. That'd be a technological achievement to make that happen.
Yep.
Were they remote controlled or were they just robots going on their own?
They were on their own, fully autonomous.
Really?
Yes. There was they were built. Each school would take their take their robot and build certain aspects to it. And, some would be better at defense and some would be better at some kind of a move. they're not doing any fancy stuff, and the goalkeeper was doing some weird stuff, but it's kind of interesting, including down robots that got taken out on a stretcher.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not kidding you. There's,
Other robots
they
ran out?
together or
Yeah, the
whatever.
robot subs.
Apparently they did.
It's like, all right, we finally got these 3 built. Oh, crap, we need to have subs.
And there was very little care and love and attention taken when they put them on the stretcher. They basically just kind of
Kind of threw them
whip
on
their
there.
wigs around and pick something up in the middle. They're just laying there. I felt bad for the robot.
Yeah, the robots are like, well, they don't have
That's a
feelings.
problem.
They don't have
Feeling
feelings.
bad for
I
the
don't know.
robot.
They don't have feelings. They were all
They
right.
don't care.
No.
So that was interesting. So this is all leading up to a culmination of they're going to have a 10-team tournament sometime. These are little, child-sized robots. They're not our size.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You got to start somewhere.
Right.
I think that's still amazing. That they, especially if they're not remote control, if they can find the ball and know where to go, that's pretty amazing.
And it wasn't a very big field, but it's something
Well,
that can
you're
be
putting
done.
all these qualifiers on it now, and now I just don't know anymore. Small
Watch it.
field, small robots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch the death robots. Have you seen whatever those things are called?
Oh, the battle bots.
Battle bots. That's
Battle
it.
bots.
Have you seen
Oh,
those?
when those first came out.
Oh my
It
God,
was fun.
those things are intense.
But I haven't
Yeah.
watched it. They still have it on.
Yeah. In fact, I think it's like on TBS or so. It's like not even hidden in the shadows anymore.
Well, that was on regular TV, on
Yeah.
regular network TV
Well,
for a while.
I've run across it, I don't know, fairly often. They're out there, and they're killer bots.
badasses,
They
aren't
are badasses.
Thanks for telling me about the, was it Meteor Day?
National Meteor Watch Day.
Right.
Perfectly aligning with National Asteroid Day. Asteroid Day.
Tell me the difference between those.
I think it's the difference between whether they're in the atmosphere or in the realm of space.
Thank you for that, SPP.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
Jesus. Bill Nye. Warning labels, boss man.
Warning labels. Actual warnings that are put on the labels of actual products.
Because people will just do anything.
Because, and every one of these is because somebody did it. So they had to put a label on it. So it starts out with, do not iron your clothes while wearing them.
Says that right on the tag.
It says it right
Read
on the tag. And why? Because people have actually done it. Several hospital emergency room reports throughout the 1990s documented patients suffering second, third degree burns from trying to smooth out wrinkles while wearing their garments.
Well, kind of makes sense.
It started.
Until you get burned.
Well, some people get cold spots. Just need to heat up a little bit.
Just,
you
yeah,
know?
okay.
There are worse ways to warm up.
We're doomed.
Oh, that's not even the best one. That's
It started with use a cool iron. Some clothes just said use a cool iron.
oh, yeah, well,
People said, well, if a little warm is good,
right.
blasted hot
Yes.
is better.
So they did.
Okay.
Do not hold the wrong end of the chainsaw.
Please pay attention to the diagram where the thing is rotating around the bar.
Yeah,
Best not to grab that.
because people have done it.
Here, you hold this in, and I'll hold the hand, and I'll hold this where this trigger is, and we'll saw through that thing.
Yeah.
They think that, trying to pull the cord to turn it on and holding it from the other end, they figure out to be a little difficult.
For sure.
They don't engineer it to be that.
People, come on now. I think you do a fine job.
All right. On a hair dryer, so it's not on the list, but on a hair dryer, it also this one says do not use while sleeping, because apparently people were using the hair dryer and fell asleep, and then it caused a fire. But they also say do not use in the bathtub because
Electricity.
electricity and all.
That's fair.
I think you can.
You can.
No, I think you can. The safety protocols in these electronics today,
Yeah, they just shorted out.
you
But
can't. I don't think you can get electrocuted anymore.
I bet you could.
I don't know.
Maybe
You
not
got
with the hair dryer, but-
GFCIs and all that.
I don't know.
I don't think you can.
Probably shut down the main frame because it takes a lot of electricity to power a hair dryer.
Well, you blow the main grid, and then you're just in trouble, right?
Exactly.
On a Dremel,
I see. I don't know about this one.
A Dremel utility tool, whatever they call those things. This product is not intended to use as a dental drill.
I think you can.
I think you can too.
I think you
It
know,
is
in a
not-
pinch.
It doesn't say you can't. It says it's not intended for that.
Yeah. I think that one can be removed from the list.
On a stroller, remove child before folding.
For God's sake. Somebody did that.
Somebody
and
did.
then sued the manufacturer.
Yep.
Why didn't you tell me not to do that?
Yes. Never use a lit match or open flame to check the fuel levels in a gas container.
Well, but you can't see.
Well,
So sometimes you need a light.
right.
You
But
need
I
a visual aid sometimes.
And that's what actually the little description of it says. That the most notable case was 2 boys were trying to fill a lawnmower in a darkly lit garage and didn't know how much gas was in the lawnmower, and then they
learned what fumes were.
the fumes were in there, and then all the gas was gone because it burned up. So this product is not a life-saving device on a pool noodle, and I'm thinking in a pinch you try it anyway.
Yeah, it could work.
It's probably the next best thing.
Next best thing. Do you remember the iPod Shuffles?
Yeah.
The iPod Shuffles when they came out,
like a little
actually,
square.
2004 or 5 or
size of a
something.
Cheez-It.
Yeah, they were like this.
Cheez-It?
It's like a little size of a
Yeah,
Cheez-It.
they were really they were small. But anyway, they say it right on there. The warning label says, "Do not eat the iPod Shuffle."
Well, look, if you SPP says it looks like a Cheez-It.
Yeah.
It's the size of a Cheez-It.
It's the size of a cheese. Yeah.
If you get one in orange, though, you might.
On a fishing lure,
You threw that in a
If you in a box of
bowl
Cheez-Its, you'd have no
Cheez-Its,
idea. You'd
you're
have no
dining
idea.
on it.
you'd know it pretty quick when you've been into that thing. On a fishing lure, harmful if swallowed. So don't eat your fishing lures.
A toddler in Michigan found a brightly colored fishing lure, swallowed it.
Yep. And we'll just leave. We'll end on this, but there's no description.
Because,
no
listen,
description is needed.
You should not do either of these things with the toilet brush.
On a toilet brush, do not put in mouth or rectum. It's just solid advice.
Just 2 places.
Yeah, you put it in your ear.
Put it anywhere else. Anywhere else, just not those 2.
Stick it in your
Game
ear.
on.
Stick it in your ear, but not your mouth or your
Just
rectum.
keep it out of you. It's not a toothbrush, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
There we have that. Yeah, everybody's going to go home and brush your teeth. Again, aren't they? All right, we need to get set for the day, so let's take a little break, and we'll be right back.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast Iowa.
Attention Hy-Vee shoppers, introducing Hy-Vee Perks, your ticket to exclusive savings and rewards. Access exclusive perks, prices, earn gas discounts, and unlock special deals. All this for free. Join Hy-Vee Perks today and start saving.
Bring the kids, share the memories, celebrate 75 years of traditions at the Midwest Old Threshers Reunion. Relive the magic of steam engines, antique cars, and trucks, tractors, gas engines, and horses. Whether it's your first visit or a cherished tradition, you'll enjoy the delicious foods, the thrill of an Old West shootout, and the excitement of nightly grandstand entertainment. For 75 years, this has been the place where memories are made at the 2025 Midwest Old Threshers Reunion, August 28th through September 1st in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. Visit oldthreshers.com for more details.
The Connie and Amanda team is dedicated to giving back to our community by actively engaging with our clients, businesses, and the public. When it comes to helping you find your next home, investment, or commercial space, the Connie and Amanda team is here for you.
Ahoy, morning breathers. Happy Monday. Welcome back. I don't know if I said happy Monday yet.
I think you did. We acknowledged that it was Monday at least right off the top.
It's a short week.
It is.
I need some time off, so this will be good.
We had a whole week last week. We went a full week last week.
I'm starting to think I need a shortened week every other week or something. I don't know. Should we get set for the day, SPP?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Whoopin' on.
Let's get set for the day. It is Monday. It is the 30th day of June. This is episode 337.
How about that?
Time 7:45 a.m. Temperature right now in Fairfield 74, Mount Pleasant 73, and Washington 74. Cloudy to partly cloudy skies today. It actually looks like the sun might be out right now. High of 85 and a low of 62.
It's National Corvette Day today.
Do
You have a Corvette, SPP?
Sure don't.
My dad had one. He had a midlife crisis and had a Corvette, and it was the coolest damn thing. It was a 77 Stingray.
Damn, Skippy.
I know. That thing would rock. And he put
I love those body
he
styles.
he put additives in it that was like, he called it jet fuel, and then he drove it at like 55. But still, he looked cool.
I
don't know.
The new ones are really awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Saw one over the weekend.
Anyway.
It almost looked like a Lamborghini.
Yeah, they kind of do. I could see that. Yeah. Yeah.
Fun to get in, not so fun to get out of.
Right. So, one of my advertising clients that I had when I was in Cresco, they were a GM dealer, and they had a Corvette, and he brought it in, and he popped up the back, and it has what they call a trunk. And I'm like, well, what do you put in there? And he goes, that thing is built to hold 2 sets of golf clubs. That's what it is. It is
take that to the club.
It is designed to hold 2 sets of golf clubs. I don't know if the new ones are, but this particular one was.
I don't think I'm going to get to buy it.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Thanks for bringing that up.
But tell Patty, I need to haul my golf clubs.
That's not going to fly.
That's not going to work. Today's headlines of SoutheastIdahoUnion.com. Fairfield Council refers Walton Lake items to Property Committee. Henry County Roads impress outsiders as crews tackle summer projects.
Boy, they've had some problems over there. Oh, no, that was Jefferson County, wasn't it? Pleasant Roads.
Oh, yeah.
Pleasant Plain Road.
The Pleasant Plain Road. Yeah, that was a mess. And how 2 Washington High School students got their associate's degree before graduating high school.
That was a great story, by the way.
Yep. Good story. And that's a neat deal all the way around. So, sports tonight, senior night for Fairfield baseball and softball as they both face Keokuk in doubleheaders.
Keokuk.
Mount Pleasant baseball and softball each have their own doubleheader at Burlington.
And if you needed a day to be, if you need a special day, SPP, to be National Social Media Day, it's today.
It's today.
Yeah. That is actually encouraging people to get on social media. It's not like get off social media for a day.
I'm going to do the opposite.
Yeah. Stay off of it for today.
Well, I've already broke that rule, but now that I know that it's National Social Media,
there you go.
No more today.
No, you're just bucking the trend then. Washington boys and girls travel to Fort Madison for their own doubleheader.
I have middle school softball tonight in Pekin.
Okay, Pekin.
In case my granddaughter, she doesn't do anything spectacular that I'd feel like I would have to post. I will not post or partake in social media today.
You will. You can't not.
Watch me.
On this day in 1908, pre-SPP.
About 100 years pre-SPP.
Yeah, about 100 years. An enormous aerial explosion, presumably caused by a comet fragment colliding with Earth, flattened approximately 2,000 square kilometers, which is about 500 acres, of pine forest near
500,000.
500,000.
500, is that what I said?
You said 500.
Oh, 500,000. I have my apologies. 500,000 acres of pine forest.
Far less than a tillion, but let's not diminish this.
But it's a pretty big swath of land going on there.
Let's not diminish this.
In central Serbia.
No, what's
Siberia.
that town?
Siberia. I'm all over it today, aren't I?
What's that town?
It's not a town.
Read that name.
It's just near
where that river is.
It's near a river in
near
central
the
Siberia.
something river. Name that river.
Podkamenia, Tunguska. I don't know. It's in central Siberia. Random joke, random quote, or random fact.
Wait a minute. Michael Phelps turned 40 today.
Wow.
One of the greatest swimmers ever.
Yes, he was.
It's crazy.
40 years old. Where does the time go?
It just goes.
Okay. SPP, do your thing.
Today's going to be a random fact day.
Random fact. You know the movie Friday the 13th? Jason Voorhees is the star of the Friday the 13th franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that? Is that the guy that
He's the killer.
The
He's the hockey
guy.
mask guy. Yep. There's a statue of him chained to the bottom of a Minnesota lake. And it's a popular scuba diving
I was going to
attraction.
say, you had to go swim down and see it.
You got to go swim down and see it. People scuba dive to this lake.
Did this happen in Minnesota?
I don't know. It was at a camp, but I'm not 100% sure if it was in Minnesota or not.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Anyway, there you go. If you want to go scuba diving, you can go see Jason Voorhees. So could you imagine, I assume if you're there, you know what's happening, but could you imagine just kind of swimming around and you see this laying in the bottom of the lake? It'd kind of freak you out a little bit.
There's where he is.
Yeah.
Kind of scare the fish.
I found him. Look what
I found him.
Jason lived.
I found him.
It's amazing. This could be a slow day for takeaways. I don't know if do you have a takeaway for today, boss man?
Remove your child before folding up your stroller.
That's a good one.
Sometimes you brain fart. You know, it's like you forget to pick up your kid at the school.
That happens.
Yeah, you forget to pick up your kid before folding up your stroller.
I was certain,
but it's
little junior.
But it's right there.
It's right
there.
Yeah, but
it's right there.
Maybe you're on your phone because it's National Social Media Day, and you start folding. You're like, oh, little Timmy's still there.
You know, they have things now in your car that says, "Don't forget to check your back seat."
Yeah, well, so I can. That does happen. That's tragic, but I can see that. But a stroller, I mean, come on, you're right there.
You should.
Denise said Kevin went to BattleBots in Vegas. Said it was badass.
Badass. Takeaway for you, SPP.
Yes, my takeaway for today is that I will be planning on looking for
meteors,
celebrating asteroids while I'm driving in my Corvette and
and scrolling
through social media.
Tomorrow, you can no longer use your phone while driving.
Right.
So get all that stuff done. Get yourself set up to voice commands and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a big change for a lot of people.
It will.
And a little bit for me, because I'll make a phone call.
Can't do it.
And now you can't have that thing in your hand now.
Nope.
So teens all over the world will be learning how to do this.
Yeah, they already do. It's just amazing.
Okay. What would be my takeaway? Let's go back up here. Nothing there. I think my takeaway would be that change your toilet brush whenever you change your toothbrush. That way you always know.
Maybe a little bit more.
Clean one.
Maybe a little more too.
That's my takeaway.
That's a damn fine takeaway.
Whenever you get a new toothbrush, just get a new toilet brush.
Just get a new toilet brush.
That way, if you get them confused, it'll be clean.
I think if you get them confused, that's on you.
That is. There's a lot of problems there. Thank you all for joining us this Monday. Go out and have a great day. We shall return tomorrow, and until then, ahoy.
Ahoy.